A lot of people have come to me saying they want to play Yasuo, but they quit because it's just too hard. I know it seems difficult, but it's actually way easier than you think. The only difficult thing is just execution, but I believe in you, and apparently Riot does too, because they gave this asshole a 3 out of 5 on ease of use. If I say any terms today that just don't make sense, go ahead and check out my FGC terminology video linked down below. So to start out, if you don't know, a stance is a state that characters enter which gives them different moves or different movement options from their normal kit. In Yasuo's case, he enters stance with down S1, puts his hand on his sword like so, and triggers all of my dopamine. From this stance, all of his buttons actually do something different, and when you use one of them, it brings you out of the stance back to normal. To start, we'll learn what the stance moves are and a couple applications of them, and then later on we'll go into some more gritty details. First is the light follow-up. With light, it moves Yasuo slightly forward and does this low stomp. It also OTGs, meaning it will pick the opponent up off the ground from a knockdown. It hits low, but it's not fast enough to catch retreating guard, so you would use it more for block string pressure. Since it OTGs, you can do some cool stuff with it, like comboing off of your forward throw, or at the end of your combos to force an air tech and hit them meaty with your stance down heavy. You can also mix it into your block strings for low pressure in stance. It's a fairly safe option as it leaves you 0 on block, which means it's also great for stagger pressure. Next is the medium follow-up. Here, Yasuo also moves slightly forward and quickly slashes upward. It's not very usable in block strings because you have to be really close for it to land on a standing opponent, but this is going to be your main combo tool as it has a lot of hit stun and leads into so much other stuff. It can also be jump cancelled on hit. It's a decent anti-air. However, why use this for anti-air when you could use this honkin' boy right here, which is your down heavy stance cancel? An absolutely massive move with relatively good speed. It moves Yasuo back slightly and can be used in some block strings as it hits further in front of you than you'd think, but its main use is as an anti-air because it's very easy to snipe jumping opponents on reaction. It uses your wall bounce on hit, so anytime you land this in neutral, you can get a full combo. Not only does he have that massive upward slash, but he also has a standing heavy, which goes horizontally. Really great for catching people running in on you and either making them block or just keeping them away. When at range, it's impossible to solo combo off of this mid-screen. You can combo off of it when your back is to the corner because you don't get pushed away, so you are closer and can land the follow-up, but not only is this follow-up really difficult timing, but if you're using this when they are on top of you, then you're already dead. It's too slow to use as a close-up defensive option. His heavy and down heavy give such good combos, and even by themselves, they do almost 15% of the opponent's health bar raw. Your enemy needs to figure out a way to get past it, so use this as a way to condition them and make them choose risky approaches which you can then punish them for. His special buttons also do stuff out of stance. First, his down S1 cancels the stance, but you would really only use this to fake out your opponent. With perfect timing, the best you can do is make this -3, specifically after a standing heavy, which isn't bad, but most of the time you would simply do a stance move that they're not expecting. It's definitely useful in a couple niche situations, one being where you can make them block, stance cancel, and then grab them. Pressing S2 leaps you out of stance and is pretty straightforward. It can be used to cross up the opponent if you are very close to them or have an assist that pulls them closer like Blitzcrank Hook. It can also be used in some combos for some interesting extensions. If you press S1, then you will do this special dash, which goes through the opponent. It leaves you fairly minus, so you would need to cover yourself with an assist. You can use it on wake up, but it's better to use on hard knockdown because with soft knockdown, if they roll correctly, then you cannot do anything about it. On hard knockdown, however, like from your forward throw, you can use it and still be plus 31 in the corner, which is pretty good. But mid-screen is where the trickiness happens because you can use it right after the dash cancel, and depending on when you cancel the dash into S1, you would end up on the left or right side. I know I haven't gone over the dash yet, but that will come soon. Now, stance is technically a special move, so you can cancel into it from any normal attack. However, they've made it so you can also cancel into stance from any special move, including his stance moves. So let's say you do the throw OTG combo I showed earlier, you're actually pressing down S1 to enter stance, light attack, which brings you out of stance, down S1, enter stance again, medium, it brings you out, and finally down S1 and then heavy, all in quick succession. Let's talk about the dash, which I briefly mentioned previously. You can input forward or down forward to go forward, and back or down back to go backward, which dashes Yasuo out of stance. This is not the same as his S1 dash that goes through people. It's just his normal dash that he does when not in stance. This concept seems small, but it enables way more advanced combos. The way the dash works is it goes a set distance, but during the dash, Yasuo is still technically in his stance, meaning at any point you can input another stance move and it will still come out. This allows Yasuo to micro position himself for the most optimal hits and combos. Take this combo for example. I'll play it out and then you tell me below if you spot the micro positioning. Now to explain, what I'm doing here is canceling S1 into stance, holding forward or down forward, waiting just a scotch, and then doing the medium attack. You do this twice in a row to get the optimal spacing, which allows his turbulent wind to combo. If you don't do any micro positioning, then the wind does not combo, and if you move too much forward, then it totally whiffs. The most consistent way to do combos like this is to find ways to not change the direction you're holding. So in the same example as before, when I cancel into stance, I'm actually holding down forward. It's still technically a down input, so S1 goes into stance. It's also technically a forward input, so if I wait a little after the stance, then I get the micro dash. And since there is no down medium move in stance, pressing medium gives me the upward slash. Then I cancel again into stance, let the micro dash come out, and then medium. I'm not letting go of down forward this entire time until I jump to continue the combo. This concept can also be applied elsewhere. Take this pressure string for example. You can bait the enemy to press buttons by canceling into stance, but you can hold back, allowing the micro dash to come out and then input heavy. The reason I'm not holding down back is because that would give me the down heavy, which of course you can do if you think the opponent will jump. But why would they jump? Well, they may be afraid of your grab. Yasuo's grab is scary because he's always pressuring you with a lot of different options. So when the enemy is confident in blocking, you can go into stance, dash, and then grab them. A couple final words of advice. You may have noticed that Yasuo has a low option out of stance, but he does not have any high options. This is because he is designed to be less of a high-low mix character and instead utilizes frame traps, staggers, and the occasional strike-throw mix. Yasuo is what we would call a mental stack character. It's impossible for defenders to keep all of his options in their head. Since they can only keep track of so much, the goal is to stack all of these options mentally and then choose the option they are not thinking of or defending against. His light follow-up is the only stance move that is not minus on block. All of his other stance moves are incredibly negative, meaning the opponent can act first, so you must always cancel back into stance to maintain your safety. Switch up the moves you are doing to frame trap and catch the opponent off guard. When you've conditioned them to block, cancel into your dash and grab them. Keep stacking the mental pressure and always keep them guessing. I know I did not go over all of the crazy setups and situations that you can accomplish in this video, as well as I did not teach you how to do these combos, and I did that on purpose. I think it's more important to teach you how the stance works and how to execute it. I also think it's important that you take these tools and experiment. Don't just do what I tell you is optimal. Although if you are excited for combo tutorials, then stay tuned as I will be making a combo video for Yasuo which details the inputs and kind of shows you what I've been doing in my matches. Thanks again for watching, boys. Adios.